Our programs include many languages. Please log on to our program schedule for more details. suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes comprennent des émissions en plusieurs langues. Pour de plus amples informations, consultez suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas incluyen muchos idiomas. Por favor, ingrese al horario de nuestros programas para más detalles. suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Műsorunk sok nyelvet tartalmaz. További részletekért kérjük tekintse meg műsorunk programját. suprememastertv.com/schedule.
The word Essene means doers of the Torah. Their inner circle were live food vegans. Okay, the inner teachings, because as doers of the Torah, they were following the Torah. But as I researched it, it got clear to me that a vegan live food diet was the diet that best accelerated the flow of the spiritual energy.
Please watch on to learn about the live food vegan lifestyle of the ancient spiritual traditions from the Honorable Rabbi Dr. Gabriel Cousens. Greetings, brilliant viewers. I'm Blaze from splendid Corvallis, USA. The friendly people of the United States of America wish you overflowing happiness in divine grace. Today's episode is entitled The Essenes Live Food Vegan Lifestyle as Part of Their Way to God. Interview with Rabbi Gabriel Cousens, MD, Part 1 of 2. We had the honor to meet the respected rabbi at the Tree of Life Center in Arizona, USA, to discuss the spiritual benefits of the live food vegan diet. Rabbi Dr. Gabriel Cousens, MD, is a renowned spiritual teacher, holistic physician, and homeopath. As one of the leading live food vegan medical doctors and spiritual nutrition experts in the world, Dr. Cousens has been recognized as the fasting guru and detoxification expert by the New York Times. He is also a distinguished psychiatrist, family therapist, Ayurvedic practitioner, acupuncturist, diabetes researcher, ecological leader, and best-selling author of books such as Spiritual Nutrition, Conscious Eating, and There is a Cure for Diabetes. Rabbi Dr. Gabriel Cousens developed the first vegan live food master's degree program in the world in conjunction with the University of Integrated Science, California. He is the director and founder of the International Tree of Life Foundation and the Tree of Life Rejuvenation Center, which have helped countless people experience the joy of sustainable, healthy living. Dr. Cousens has also taught in 40 countries throughout the world. The beloved spiritual teacher and ordained rabbi had practiced in India, studied the Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism, extensively, and founded the modern Essene Order of Light in 1993. With his diverse spiritual background that also includes Taoism and Native American wisdom, Rabbi Dr. Gabriel Cousens offers a unique and integrated view of spirituality. He first tells us about the teachings upon which he founded the modern Essene Order of Light.
The Essenes, which maybe began about 500 BC, around the time of Pythagoras, Apparently, they trained Pythagoras on Mount Carmel. He came down as a live food vegan. The word Essene means doers of the Torah. So the Essenes were intense doers of the Torah. Their inner circle were live food vegans. Okay, the inner teachings, because as doers of the Torah, they were following the Torah. They were following Genesis 1:29.
And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb yielding seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for food. Genesis 1:29, Holy Torah.
So that's part of it. The other part is spiritual life really requires a certain amount of intensity. And the Essenes were very intense in their practices. We actually do spiritual fasting about 15 minutes away from Qumran, which is one of the centers of the Essene, by the Dead Sea. So we're actually get very close to where they were, at least the main place where they lived. They were actually all over the Middle East. They really were at Lake Mareotis in Egypt, and they were in Lebanon. They were really in Damascus, so really the whole area. But Qumran is what most people remember. But my interest in them is, one, they were clearly live food vegans, the inner core, and they were spiritually intense doers of the Torah.
What was the lifestyle of the Essenes, and how do you see the connection between their lifestyle and the Kabbalah teaching?
Okay. The Dead Sea Scrolls that were found in Qumran had the remnants or the beginnings of Kabbalah. The beginnings of Kabbalah weren't nearly as sophisticated as they are today. The beginning of Kabbalah, the ancient Kabbalah, was be like God. So as God serves us, so shall we serve humanity. And that way, we're like God. We're compassionate and we're serving humanity. That's it. It wasn't until the Arizal in the 1600s where we have the very sophisticated Kabbalah that we have today. But the beginnings of Kabbalah, which really began with Abraham, were very, very simple. And I just summed it up. And that's the level of which the Essenes were really following, was the primordial Kabbalah, be like God, therefore serve and take care of humanity. So the Essenes were known as humanitarians. They were great healers, known as the therapeutai. And they also were great farmers, and they brought forth great things from the land, from the desert.
When we return, Rabbi Dr. Gabriel Cousins shares more about the spiritual wisdom of the vegan raw food lifestyle. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to our program. Rabbi Dr. Gabriel Cousins is a radiant vegan raw foodist who has taught many people the joy and benefits of this lifestyle. He told us about how he came to choose this wholesome path, while revealing that it was also the choice of many ancient spiritual practitioners.
Well, again, the inner core of these scenes was live foods. Now, my interest in live food didn't exactly start with the Essenes. But when I had the little voice spoke to me in 1975, I began researching it. Because the real question is, how do we eat in a way that enhances the flow of the spiritual energy known as Kundalini? That was the question. Okay, now I didn't have the answer. I wasn't even sure what Kundalini was when that happened. But as I researched it, and as a doctor, holistic physician working with thousands of students of Muktananda, it got clear to me that a vegan live food diet was the diet that best accelerated the flow of the spiritual energy.
The 6 foundations as taught by Rabbi Dr. Gabriel Cousins. 1. Nutrition. 2. Building prana, in parentheses, life force. 3. Service and charity. 4. Spiritual guidance and inspiration. 5. Silence. 6. Kundalini awakening.
Now you can't eat your way to God. You can't eat your way to God. We don't want to be confused thinking, well, if I do this, it'll make me enlightened. No, it's a support. I teach the 6 foundations, and the live food diet is one of the 6 foundations. Actually, live food diet and fasting. Okay? So it's just one of that, but it supports the overall spiritual life. Now, in specific, which is what I was working on, is that from a yogic tradition, part of my background, we have 72,000 nadis, which are subtle channels through which the energy flows. And then there's 3 main nadis, the Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna. Okay? The central channel through which the Kundalini flows is the Sushumna. Now, what became very clear to me in my work with many people with Kundalini and so forth, because I started the first Kundalini crisis clinic in 1976, is meat, fish, chicken, and dairy clog and block the flow of the spiritual energy in the nadis. So what we don't want to do is put that in there. My diet went at least vegan, and then I observed when people went to live food, as it did for me, that energy was enhanced. The flow of the energy was enhanced. That's the really good news. Okay? So that's how I really discovered it. It was what was working for people and what wasn't working for people. And that's what is important to understand, is strictly observational and clinical. It wasn't based on any theory. Now, we certainly can look at the yogic tradition, and if you go back to the ancient rishis 2,000, 3,000 years ago, they did indeed eat a live food vegan diet. Now, I shouldn't say vegan because they had a little dairy because they had no other way to get B12, but very little, like a tablespoon of yogurt a day, just to maintain. So they had already figured it out. This is the best way to move the spiritual energy and to enhance the movement. You look at Taoism. Taoists were live fooders. The key Taoists hanging out in the mountains away. If they ate at all, they were eating live food. And when we look again at the different traditions, that's what we see, is that the live food vegan diet is the primary diet. The Mormons, Joseph Smith, the inner core of 25, they're all live food vegans. So the key here to understand is what I found wasn't unusual, wasn't exceptional, was the diet given to Adam and Eve, or Hava, was the diet people were really following, and it greatly enhances the spiritual energy, and partly because it not only has a tremendous amount of energy within itself, but it doesn't block the nadis. Now, when you eat an animal, you're not only getting in its astral field, because when you eat vegetables, you're getting just the subtle field. Now, here's the key. The astral field also blocks and lowers your frequency. And as my other spiritual teacher, Swami Prakashananda, said, when you kill an animal, you create misery, fear, and pain. And when you eat that animal, that misery, fear, and pain goes into you, causing disease and imbalance. But that's pretty straightforward. And so and we definitely can see today that about almost 68% of all disease is related to our diet. And an animal-based diet increases the rates of cancer, heart disease, diabetes, like literally increasing the rate of diabetes 35 to 50%. I'm not here necessarily to give a whole discussion of your health in that, but the point I'm making is it became very clear to me that animal food weakens you, blocks the flow of the spiritual energy through the nadis, and creates a hole in your body that creates a bigger hole in your soul. So that's how I arrived at the live food diet, because like, wow, I'm observing this is the most powerful diet for supporting the movement of the Kundalini. And again, you can't eat your way to God, but we want all the support we can, and this is one of the things.
The 6 foundations as taught by Rabbi Dr. Gabriel Cousins. 1. Nutrition. 2. Building prana, in parentheses, life force. 3. Service and charity. 4. Spiritual guidance and inspiration. 5. Silence. 6. Kundalini awakening.
When I mentioned 6 foundations, so people will see, is spiritual practice, spiritual breathing, because that brings in energy, the yoga, the tai chi, qigong, things like that. They move the prana or the chi. Third is service and charity, because when you have service and charity, you're opening your heart and connecting the people. Fourth is the importance of the spiritual teacher and what we call equal vision or vairagya in yoga thing, and also viveka, the ability to tell the difference between the temporal reality, where most people are playing, and the cosmic reality. And the importance, again, of the spiritual teacher helping you sort that out. Fifth is as much meditation and prayer and chanting as you can do. And sixth is as much Shaktipat, the descent of grace, like I receive from my teachers, and what I do in my work is I've been empowered to give that Shaktipat. So those are the 6 foundations that support spiritual life. Getting enlightened is a little bit different, but it's a way of life that we're looking at. So that's how I kind of arrived at putting it together. How do we make this simple? How do we get a diet that works all around the world for optimizing our spiritual life?
In your experience, what are some of the immediate and long-term benefits of a vegan, full-life food diet?
Both immediate, what I observe is people, even within a few months, feel more energy, feel clearer in the mind, and I've done research with it. My master's students have done research. 400% less depression, 300% less anxiety, which are big issues. Much clearer thinking, increase in strength, literally 200 to 300%, increased flexibility. Here I am at 75. I've been a live food vegan since 1983, a vegan since 1973, and in that transition of about 10 years where it was 100% live food. On my 71st birthday, I did, without even stressing, like 300 push-ups. When I was 60, I did 601. That hurt my neck a little bit, so I didn't do more than that. And doing, yesterday 90 pull-ups twice. So I find that I'm stronger, and at 75, I'm sitting in full lotus, getting better and better at the tri-yoga that I do, getting more flexible, stronger, more endurance, and more flexibility. So it really helps on that level. Now there's another level. I think it's helps with your mind. When you're eating organic, veganic, live food, you have the least amount of stress on your brain function. So it really enhances, and what I've observed is that this way of life enhances your brain's ability to optimize and balance all the neurotransmitters. So that's what I've really observed with hundreds and hundreds, well, maybe thousands of students who have followed this way of life. Their mind's clear, their body's more flexible, and they're stronger, and they're happier. And happiness is important. 400% less depression, 300% less anxiety, that makes you happier.
When we return, Rabbi Dr. Gabriel Cousens shares advice for those who wish to support their spiritual progress on a vegan, raw food lifestyle. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to our program. What if some of us haven't had any experience with raw vegan diets? What if we don't yet have an intense spiritual seeking inclination? What is the best way to approach the vegan life food way? Rabbi Dr. Gabriel Cousens kindly advises.
The question's an interesting question because it really depends on the person. Some people never think about God, and suddenly they're interested in God and they get very active and they're ready to go. So they may go into live foods in one day. Other people, I suggest phases, whether it's over years or months or weeks. Yet eliminate meat, fish, and chicken, phase 1, and then begin to move away from cooked food to more live food, and then eventually kind of arrive at the live food diet. So that may take years in the transition. I also don't necessarily recommend people go to 100%. I say try getting to 50%. Oh, that's working good. Try 80%. My observation is if you can hit 80% live food, you're doing very, very well, and that really works over the long term. It's equal to a 95%, 99% live food diet. The difference is when you go to 100% live food, 99, you get there faster with the clearer mind and all the things that I'm talking about. So it's according to the person. People get very focused on it, focused on God, one-pointed, then they're going to move faster to it. People are just doing it for lifestyle and to get healthier. They may not be as motivated to know the self, to know the truth of who we are. So it has to do with level of motivation is how I guide people. Yes, you can move right to a live food diet. I actually like people to do just go to a vegan, then do a fast to kind of clear things, and then they go right to live foods after that, and that way they minimize the kind of the detox because the fast helps clear it.
Rabbi Dr. Gabriel Cousens teaches that at our best, we are beings who are meant to be a superconductor of the divine. He gently reminds us that this is, in fact, our life purpose.
So the ultimate purpose of life is to know God. We call it Devikut Herut. In Hebrew, it means God merging and oneness. That's the ultimate purpose of life. That's why we're put here on the planet. From a spiritual point of view, from the Torah point of view. That's our ultimate purpose. And the Torah is a guide to that. That's the key idea. the movement in that direction is really one step at a time, and it's according to the person. Now, the movement of the Kundalini, or in Hebrew, the Ruach HaKodesh, supports that. It is not the goal, it is not the purpose. But when that energy is awakened, it accelerates that spiritual unfoldment, and that's the key. So the goal isn't about Kundalini, the goal is about merging with God. But an awakened Kundalini, an awakened Ruach HaKodesh supports and empowers and energizes that awakening process.
We are grateful to the Honorable Rabbi Dr. Gabriel Cousens for granting us this interview and for sharing with the world his precious spiritual guidance and vital research findings. May God bless you and your mission. And finally, here is a kind message from the wonderful Rabbi for Supreme Master Television and our cherished viewers.
I am so happy to be on Supreme Master TV. It's such a good thing you're doing, and I want to share this message which reverberates throughout all your work. Be vegan, live this way, save the world, and save yourself. Amen.
Mindful viewers, it was an honor to be in your presence on today's program, the Essenes Live Food Vegan Lifestyle as part of their way to God, interview with Rabbi Gabriel Cousens, MD, Part 2 of 2, on Words of Wisdom. Coming up next is Lunar New Year celebration with our association members, Part 2 of 5, right after Noteworthy News. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television for more inspiring broadcasting. May your spirit delight in eternal oneness with God.
For more details and to check out our schedule for language availability, please visit suprememastertv.com/WOW and suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Pour plus d'informations et pour consulter le programme des langues disponibles, visitez suprememastertv.com/WOW et suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Para más detalles y consultar nuestro horario para la disponibilidad de idiomas, por favor visite suprememastertv.com/WOW y suprememastertv.com/schedule.
더 자세한 정보와 제공되는 언어가 안내된 일정표를 확인하시려면 다음을 방문하세요. suprememastertv.com/WOW suprememastertv.com/schedule